We begin with breaking news as conservative activist Charlie Kirk is dead after being shot at a speaking event at a Utah Valley University just a few hours ago.
Event goers quickly ran for cover. The university immediately canceled classes and told everyone to leave campus. City leaders say the suspected shooter has not been arrested.
Let's get right to it and break down exactly what happened.
I heard a loud bang.
After hearing a gunshot in the middle of campus, a crowd started running for safety. Witnesses described seeing the speaker, Charlie Kirk, being struck in the neck area and falling from his chair.
I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is. And then he fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming.
A spokesperson from Utah Valley University says the shot was fired from a building about 200 yards away and that the campus closed for the rest of the day. Former Utah Congressman Jason Chavez was at the event and witnessed the shooting.
As soon as that shot went out, he fell back into his left, and everybody hit the deck.
Charlie Kirk became a highly influential conservative activist and influencer after starting Turning Point USA. The group has a presence at thousands of universities and high schools and regularly holds campus events. Kirk is credited with helping President Trump win over young voters and win back the White House. Support for Kirk after the shooting has been bipartisan.
I mean, it's just another horrible act of political violence that has no place in our country.
And we've just learned a suspect is in custody at this hour. And to more breaking news of Charlie Kirk's murder, reaction pouring in from across the country.
That it is. Fox 17 News' Atra El-Nashar now with more on the reaction, including pleas to end political violence.
The violence on a university campus in Utah sending shockwaves through Washington. President Trump, who's credited Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA for mobilizing enough young voters to get him elected, announcing his death on Truth Social. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. The president ordering flags be flown at half-staff until sunset on Sunday. Vice President Vance says, eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. Republican commentator Scott Jennings visibly emotional when the news broke.
Charlie Kirk was a destination for a lot of young conservatives, and we're going to miss him.
Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee saying this murder was a cowardly act of violence, an attack on champions of freedom like Charlie, the students who gathered for civil debate to save our nation. California Governor Gavin Newsom, one of the most high-profile Democrats in the country, who earlier this year hosted Kirk on his podcast, says the attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form. Former Democratic Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot in 2011, says democratic societies will always have political disagreements, but we must never allow America to become a country that confronts those disagreements with violence. FBI Director Kash Patel says agents were sent to the scene right away, and the Bureau will support the ongoing response and investigation. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Now, just to remind you, we found out just moments ago that an arrest in this case has been made.
This is the FBI at the podium. Let's listen in.
50 years ago, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. The first one of those is life. And today, a life was taken. Charlie Kirk was first and foremost a husband and a dad to two young children. He was also very much politically involved, and that's why he was here on campus. Charlie believed in the power of free speech and debate to shape ideas and to persuade people. Historically, have been the place where truth and ideas are formulated and debated. And that's what he does. He comes on college campuses and he debates. That is foundational to the formation of our country, to our most basic constitutional rights. And when someone takes the life of a person because of their ideas or their ideals, then that very constitutional foundation is threatened. Now, we have a person of interest in custody. The investigation is ongoing. But I want to make it crystal clear right now, to whoever did this, we will find you. We will try you. And we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law.
And that's Utah's Governor Spencer Cox talking about the person of interest they now have in custody along with the FBI there in Orem, Utah. Right now, a live look from the White House where you can see the flag there at the top middle of your screen. Ordered all U.S. flags to be lowered to half-staff all the way through Sunday night in honor of Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk, for those of you who may not be as familiar, the co-founder and CEO of Turning Point USA. It's a conservative youth organization that he founded when he was 18 years old. Kirk has more than 7 million followers on Instagram, a popular social media group with young people, and 5.4 million followers on X. He was the host of the Charlie Kirk Show, a podcast.
Stunned college students at Utah Valley University that witnessed the attack are describing the traumatic scene.
I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is. And then he fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Everyone got down, everyone was so scared, and I just grabbed her, and my boss is with us, which is her mom. She was like, run, and we finally got up and followed the crowd, and I just kept holding her. I don't even have my shoes on. I left my keys, and everyone's just scared. It's traumatizing. It scares. I don't even want to go to school tomorrow.
Wow. The university asked everyone to evacuate the campus. It's closed until further notice.
Continuing coverage as local leaders and organizations here in Tennessee are responding to this assassination as well. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee posting a statement on social media saying that Maria, the First Lady, and I offer our heartfelt prayers for Charlie Kirk and ask that the Lord be near his family right now. And the Tennessee Democratic Party issued a statement. It says any and all violence has no place in our society. The party's vice chair here in Tennessee adding there is no place for it in our politics, in our country, or in any civilized world.
Well, the shooting death of Charlie Kirk has stunned the nation, and now new questions about political violence and security have come up. Well, the president of Defense Systems, a security consulting firm, Brink Fiddler, is here. He has over 2 decades of law enforcement experience. Brink, I'm so sorry we are talking under these circumstances. Thanks for being here.
Me too, yeah. Tragedy brings out a lot about what we do, unfortunately.
I think a lot of people are wondering how this could happen at a well-policed event at Utah Valley University.
Certainly. Of course, in this case, we're talking a long-range shot, right? Probably with a high-powered rifle based on just a little bit of video that I've seen. So to secure every single building around that event takes a huge law enforcement presence and manpower. And, those aren't the threats that typically they're looking for at these events, right? They're looking for more of the agitators and the protesters and things like that. And, an assassin with a high-powered long-range rifle takes things to a whole new level as far as preparation goes.
Yeah. Well, since the assassination attempt on President Trump, you'd think political rallies and events, especially those within the conservative movement, would be hyper-vigilant and more on guard and ready for these kinds of attacks.
Certainly, definitely more on guard. But again, to see someone, especially a young conservative, up-and-comer like Charlie Kirk, to be assassinated, that's something that was really on anybody's radar just because we hadn't seen it taken to that level. Obviously, with President Trump, we did, but outside of that, we hadn't really seen it taken to that level. Again, I don't know what the security footprint was here. I have no idea what the pre-planning was for the event. But obviously, there's a lot of buildings around that courtyard where the things were taking place, and so that's just a lot of square footage to shut down. And you got to think an operating university may or may not even allow you to come in as the security detail for him and shut down those buildings if they're still an operating university as well. So obviously I think that'll change in future events based on what happened today. But I think prior to today, I don't know that there were enough red flags out there about this kind of attack at an event like this.
That's certainly stirring up the conversation again. You know, the last video Charlie Kirk posted on Instagram just hours ago, he was honoring the victim killed on the light rail bus by a dangerous career criminal in North Carolina who a judge had just allowed out. He ended that video by saying, "Let's say her name," and now here we are hours later. He is sadly joining the devastating statistics. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think there's a serious conversation about rhetoric and political violence in this country. You know, there was a time we could just agree to disagree, and now obviously we're having to kill our opponents in the political spectrum, which is just insane to me that this country has gone there. But it will certainly stir a whole new level of security concerns and protocols and procedures, just like 9/11 did. If you remember what it was like to fly before 9/11, and that was a serious game changer and just our way of life. And I think that this has the potential to do the same thing. You know, at a presidential rally, or presidents always been protected to the level that they are. You know, political commentators and things like that have never really been looked at this having the same threat level before today. But after today, I think that's going to change drastically. And unfortunately for this country, that just means that the level of security and awareness is going to be even higher. And it's the price we pay for freedom as well, right?
All right. A lot more to come on this conversation that we will certainly be continuing. Brink Fiddler, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Continuing coverage now as this shooting comes amid a spike in political violence across the country that crosses all party lines. Last year, of course, President Trump was shot at the rally in Pennsylvania. In June of this year, a gunman killed a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband at their home in a politically motivated attack. And in April, where these images are coming from, man charged with attempted murder and arson after investigators say he set fire to the home of Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro. And it happened at a time when Shapiro's family and guests were inside that house sleeping.
We know that environmental factors, that factors involving what the mood of the country is, attitudes of people can have impact on lone wolf killers and other people.
Politics now infiltrates a lot of what we think we are, who we are, what we stand for, and we see the other side right now too often as counter to that, and it creates a lot of division that we just simply don't need.
Well, new information continuing to pour into our Fox 17 newsroom, and here are some of the key takeaways tonight. Someone shot and killed conservative commentator Charlie Kirk during an event that he hosted at Utah Valley University earlier this afternoon. Campus leaders quickly evacuated the school with classes canceled until further notice. The local mayor says the suspect is still at large, but we have gotten some updated information that there is a person of interest in custody. We just got that from a live press conference from the FBI. Fox 17 News is following this breaking news story. We'll continue to give you updates on air and online as we learn more. Stay tuned here on Fox 17.